Hi folks, it's Thom. We're here to ask for your assistance. In the past, we've provided all of our videos free to the public, and we certainly hope to keep it that way. We're approaching 1,500 videos, and we are looking for ways to make our club more valuable to you. Soon you will be able to access a database and sort through all of our videos by author, game master, and player, with links directly to YouTube. You'll also have links to the audio files on Spotify or iTunes. We're creating a gaming schedule for current and upcoming games for you to access. This reorganization is costing us a lot of time and effort. The only compensation that we get is from our Patreon site. For a few dollars a month, you can assist us to bring even more and diverse content. If you would like to help, go to patreon.com/intothedarkness. That's all one word. Just a few dollars is all we are asking. We love our patrons, and we would like to count you amongst them. Now back to the show. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is One Night of Hell in the Mall of Pain. It was written by Alex Sun, and it can be found on his website for free. There is a link below. This is a Pulp Cthulhu game, so we're using those rules. Alex Sun is also our Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Alex?
Thank you, Thom. It is 2006, the night before Black Friday. The local shopping mall that these mall cops all work at is the Cabrera Memorial Mall. They are having a special midnight opening to commemorate the holiday of Black Friday. There are hundreds of shoppers lined up outside of the mall in preparation. It's a chilly night, and they're all bundled up. There are a few police officers sent in to assist, but let's go around and find out who our players are. Killian Frost, who are you? How did you become a mall cop, and what do you look like?
My name is Killian Frost. I have dark hair, I'm tall, I'm thin. I have a clear complexion due to my nightly hygiene. I spend a lot of time in my backyard shed practicing my own form of self-defense, which I call Killian Fu. The reason that I work at the mall is because my mother thinks that it's about time that I pulled my weight around the house. She just turned 65. Happy birthday, Mother. My personal philosophy is, if you can't be polite, I can teach you.
Wonderful. Your manager slash coworker, Gideon, who is the security guard operating the security cameras, he radios into you, Killian, and he asks, how are you doing? Are you ready for the big night?
Bring them on.
All right. Well, it's only a few more minutes till midnight, till those floodgates open.
Have we posted signs that say no running?
No, that wasn't in the budget.
I'll inform them.
Wonderful. And let's move on over to Steve Mitchell. Mitchell,
all right.
What do you look like? Why did you become a mall cop?
I'm a young guy, 20s, very muscled and toned. This is my side gig. My day job is as a fitness instructor. So I'm just doing this for the extra cash. But happy to be here, happy to, flex my muscles a little bit.
Wonderful. What about Bob Donalds?
Oh, I'm Bob. Bob is a slightly rotund, almost Homer Simpson-esque kind of face. He's got a bit of the hair left, but he always seems to have the facial hair that just suddenly erupts even like 5 minutes after he shaves. is very much the kind of the backroom boy of the mall cop brigade, being a bit of a grease monkey. He's normally the guy that repairs stuff around the back rather than being in a customer-facing role. So this is going to be a bit of a shock to the constitution tonight. He was a local kid, born and raised, that seemed to be a bit of a child prodigy. Got a bit of a brain in his head. Was sent off to MIT, but came back under a bit of a cloud after he blew up a science block trying to build a fusion reactor. So it's probably not going to get a job in academia anytime soon. So he came back with his tail between his legs and a hell of a lot of debt he has to pay back to the uni.
Wonderful. And when you and Steve ride out with the rest of the mall cops, it's very noticeable that both of your segues are always like in the back struggling to support you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to Derek Prince.
Hi, Derek Prince. I did a 4-year tour of duty and then the GI Bill, and then I was a firefighter until I had a traumatic injury. The pension was very good until my beloved wife, Susan, developed an aggressive cancer and bankrupted us, and she passed away at the age of 38. And I'm making ends meet and keeping myself out of the house by working here at the mall.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Cliff Masters.
Cliff Masters is a brick shithouse of a man. He's tall and broad-shouldered, and he's got hard chiseled features. He's probably in his late 30s, and he felt that he was always born to serve. And he did an eventful 6-month stint at the local PD until he got let go for excessive use of force complaints. And so he felt that made him an excellent candidate as a mall cop. He takes his role in society very seriously, and he carries around as much gear as he can by policy be allowed to use and have. Pushes the envelope a little bit because I think his idea of his, rank and authority is a little bit different than what, Cabrera Corp thinks it is. But either way, he's very tuned in to his job and is very big on pleasing his chain of command.
Wonderful. And with another blip of the radio, Gideon says, "All right, it's midnight. Prepare." And then that's when Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You starts blaring over the sound system, and the doors open, and customers start flooding into the mall.
No
hundreds
running.
and hundreds
No
of
running.
customers.
Stop that running right there.
Everyone roll sanity for the horrors of retail. 0/1.
Oh, that is a failure.
I got a 6.
All right.
2.
10. That'll do.
Keeping calm, keeping cool.
Even keeled.
Okay, so this is exactly what happens. The mall starts to fill up with a lot of shoppers. People are rushing in for the latest sales. And this is when Steve, an older woman using a stroller, she starts to tug on your sleeve. "Excuse me, young man.
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
Could you help me locate the restroom, please?"
Absolutely, ma'am. Right this way.
And you look at the restroom, and there's already a line of 30 people.
Oh, boy.
They have been waiting in the parking lot for a number of hours, after all. A lot of them drinking coffee to stay warm.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna shuffle her to the front. All right, people, make way, make way. We've got
what
a
gives?
handicapped. We've got a handicapped elderly individual here, sir. You can stand down.
Give me a intimidate.
Right, actually. All right, come on. Yeah, 29 out of 70.
All right, so you see the person who has yelled at you physically shrink as he looks up about 2 feet higher than the top of his head. And the old woman says, "Thank you, young man. You're so kind." And she gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Meanwhile, Cliff, you see a shopper look around suspiciously, and he's walking to the front of the candy store. And when no one's looking, he's just emptying bins of candy right into his pockets of his hoodie. What are you going to do about that?
All right. I'm going to run over to him, and I'm going to take my flashlight out and have one hand on my pepper spray. Tell him, freeze! And
disappear. Right. So you can see the young man. He goes completely pale, and he says, "I'm not doing anything wrong."
You got 2 seconds to explain yourself, kid.
What are you going to do? Arrest me? You're a mall cop.
You don't want to know what we do with shoplifters. May I roll and intimidate?
Sure.
All right, that's a regular success.
Okay.
Buddy.
So you're definitely scaring him, and he starts to back himself up into a corner. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You can't touch me. Don't touch me.
You stealing private property.
Derek, you also noticed this.
How old is this young
16.
ne'er-do-well?
Mid-teens.
And these candies are individually wrapped, or he's touching actual foodstuffs with his grubby little mitts?
Oh, they're individually wrapped.
All right. Son, if it's necessary to turn you upside down and shake you, we can do that. Regardless, we're going to be escorting you outside of the mall. The sale is for adults who are not larcenists.
The kid looks around desperately, and then that's when his eyes lock onto a poster, and he points at that. He points and he says, but that poster says free candy. And you turn around, and there is a poster that does indeed say free candy, but it's on one of the outside pillars and not in the shopping mall itself, the store front itself.
So it's not indicating that what he was taking was
correct.
What is the labeling on this sign?
It's a large blocky letters that says free candy, 100% off. But there is no store that is being indicated that is dispensing this free candy.
I don't know what you're up to, kid. For all I know, you put up those signs. Try to get over.
I swear, I didn't do it.
Is this sign laminated?
No.
How is it affixed to the pillar?
Tape.
Yeah, I think I'll be. You walk the kid outside. Maybe let him have a couple of the candies. I'm going to do a circuit and see if there's any more of this nonsense that some vandal put up in advance of the sale night.
All right, kid. I'm going to give you a Snickers bar to piss off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no roll required. He's going to say, "Oh, okay, officer," and he rolls his eyes.
That's right. Have a good night. And I walk him out the front door.
He scuttles off, leaving a trail of candy behind that are flowing out of his pockets.
Damn. God, millennials.
Wonderful. At this point, Bob, on your patrol of the mall, you're seeing a crowd gather around someone, and there's a bit of commotion, and people are scrambling around trying to pick up what appears to be dollar bills. And that's when a woman shouts out, "This guy's giving out free money."
Hell, I'm over there. I want money.
Great. So in that case, You just get over there, and there is indeed a man in a business suit just dropping money with a almost catatonic look on his face.
Okay, I'll pocket as much cash as I can, and then can I wave? Can I hand in his face? Hello, sir. Are you the lights on? Anyone's home?
I hope you enjoy this gift. Please spend it at the mall.
Money is for exchange for goods and services. This is always a good thing. But are you okay? Hey, click, click.
Yes.
Oh, wake up.
Yes, I am okay.
Okay, well, if you feel like giving any more money to us, then there's a whole load of other guards work here that could do with a bit of a pay rise.
He dispenses stacks of $20 bills.
I am lapping them up.
Okay, great. Eventually, he walks away when he's done, all out, and the crowd of people are just scooping it all up. Very strange. Killian.
Try to encourage a bit of order around here, like saying, yeah, like, show's over, guys, pick up everything and get the hell out of here.
And then you're
stuffing it in pockets all over.
Yeah, this is at least a week's paycheck that you managed to scoop up. Very nice.
Oh yeah.
Killian, on your patrol, you encounter two customers. They are violently fighting over a flat screen TV in a box. One's on one side, the other's on the other. And it's the last one. So obviously a lot of people are very upset.
Calm down there. And I come over to where they are.
I saw this first.
No fighting in the mall.
Hey, I saw this first. He's got to let go. No, I saw it first, the other one exclaims. They're not stopping.
Okay, well then I'm going
lethal force. No.
I'm going to pull out my baton.
Oh my lord.
And I'm going to put the baton like right in the middle of where the object, and it says you either resolve this immediately or this product will be taken back to the back and neither one of you will get it.
Ooh, give me a intimidate with a bonus die.
51. Where's my intimidate? With a bonus die?
Yeah, that was a good bit of logic there.
It passes with a bonus die.
Okay, so in that case, they say, okay, they both let it go. At the same time, it clatters to the floor just a little. Hear the stuff shake inside the box. And he's like, well, who gets it then?
I says, oh, you thought this was fair. And I'm just going to pick the box up and walk towards the back with it.
And they can't do anything about it. I'm going to call your manager, you hear in the background, and that slowly fades away.
Well, when he says that, I turn around and I say, his name is Gideon, what's his name? Gideon, and I just call out his phone number, and then I turn back around and keep going.
Excellent. So this goes on for about another hour till it's about 1 a.m. And it's pretty tough work dealing with customers that are complaining and causing problems for each other.
Are there more of these free stuff posters anywhere?
Yes, there are.
What do they have in
It's a
common?
prank. It's a prank. Pull them down.
Insane sales like buy one, get 3 free, or 80% off your first 5 purchases.
They're vaguely official looking, but they have no brands on them. They're
on plain paper.
Yeah, they are.
Just tearing them down. They're not official.
Yeah,
They're
this
not
is very
made.
cute. I'm gonna be looking at the security tape from earlier and finding out the punks that put this little game together. It's not funny.
Yeah, so that would involve you going back to Gideon, who's at the security office right next to the break room, the one with the vending machine with the candy you like in it. But before you get there, you all get called on your radio by Gideon, and he says, listen up. We You have a kid that's gone missing. Yeah. Andrew Bryce. I have his mother here in the security room, and he was lost near the construction department store. I'm going to need you all to head over there and find out what happened. The father's there to meet you.
I'm en route.
Yeah, his name's Harold, and he gives you the description of Harold.
You want us all to go? I mean, there's a lot going on in the mall. Just one of us would be sufficient.
We'll
Not
reroute
many.
some of the other security guards, but you five are my best. So
The flat screens are already gone. The early birds have gotten their worms.
There's one left in the back.
I wonder what kind of idiot brings their... How old's the kid?
kid's about 8.
Who brings an 8-year-old to the Black Friday morning sale? Unless they
Welcome
want
to
to be
America.
stampeded. All right,
It's
Andrew
true. They
Bryce. We
should
have
just leave their children home alone.
Look, we just have to get through this holiday season, and then I retire.
All right, we're on it, Gideon.
You all roll out on your segues in formation.
I'm going
Okay.
full throttle on that thing.
Yeah. So the department store is past the giant Christmas tree in the center, because this whole mall, it's been decorated with Christmas decorations, and people are bumbling to and fro. This mall is 3 levels. It's a fairly large mall, but there are some other security guards who are assigned, but you 5 are in this in Group A. And as you head over to the department store, you get real close to it. And right outside the department store, before you get into the mall proper, and then the actual store itself, you see a crowd of people formed around someone. There's a lot of them. You can't really see over them because they're all like gasping and murmuring amongst each other.
Out of the way, folks. Out of the way.
All right, break it up.
Right. And as you push your way through, you do see a kid. The kid is foaming from the mouth. And he's making this horrible gurgling sounds.
Kid, what's the matter?
Is there a doctor in the
shit.
house?
Is it rabies?
Yeah. And as you try and administer first aid, who's going to do that?
The
Okay.
minute that Steve says rabies, I'm not going a fucking foot within a arm's reach of him.
Please,
Yeah.
stand back, give the kid a little
He's
air.
got rabies. Everyone get back.
I'll try to
Start panicking.
Mitchell, do not cause a stampede, all right? We're just going to see how the kid's doing. Wipe the foam off his mouth with my tie and start first aid.
Who are the parents? Who are the parents? I yell out.
Sorry, Andrew. I just rolled a 91 from my...
Oh, okay,
60th
great.
day.
This is wonderful. So I'll tell you what happens. Because everyone, please roll sand.
Why are we rolling sand?
Oh, well, I'll tell you.
Ooh,
Probably
failure.
bites Derek's hand. Yeah.
Okay. So,
What?
as you're kneeling down, the sand loss is 1/1d6, by the way. So as you're kneeling down, trying to attend to this kid, right? His face blossoms like a meat flower. And ribs and bones start to distort and crack. And then this thing lunges at you, Derek. So because you failed that medicine roll, I'll say you don't notice like that transformation, so you're not going to be able to fight back from this. Okay. Holy shit, 04.
Derek,
Okay.
no!
Derek, you are just bitten in the shoulder as this guy's face opens up and it chomps down. It does 10 damage to you. And that's when people start screaming. This is when you notice a man on fire flailing around, and he crashes through a glass storefront and tumbles into a pile of collectible figurines. The Christmas tree is now on fire. Something has happened, and more of these abominations, these fleshy abominations, start to come around the corners, coming out of the storefronts, coming out of the maintenance tunnels, and they just start attacking people. Who lost more than 5 sanity?
I spent double the points to mitigate the 6 sand loss, so I only took 3 in the end.
Right.
I only took one, perhaps because I didn't actually see the kid's face open up before he bit into my shoulder.
Right. So his newly formed bone teeth has ripped into your shoulder, and we're just going to go right into combat because it seems pretty viable to do so right now. So Derek, what are you doing?
So I'm sorry, the kid's face opened up and that's what clamped onto my shoulder?
It's still in your shoulder.
It's still in my shoulder. Yeah.
Yep. And it's twitching, spasming.
I haven't properly seen what it looked like. I was like, fretting about its collar in case it had an obstruction when it latched on. I'm going to shove a taser into its belly and zap the little shit.
All right, give me a roll. And while you do that, Killian,
that's a 7. That's an extreme for my brawl.
Excellent. You shove the taser into this thing's torso, and it starts to shake and convulse, and it flops to the floor. Killian, what are you doing? People are being attacked. It is going to hell. You have no idea what's going on.
This has happened very quickly.
Yes.
Does it look like there is a place of retreat where they're not coming from? Any storefront,
you know that there are security shutters in the stores usually. However, around you there is a like a Home Depot-esque construction store. There's also let's say a Hot Topic and
I guess what I'm asking is if I'm looking at the scene, I see these things coming from here and from here. Mm-hmm. Is there a place where they're not coming from, like the shot behind me?
I would say it'd be in the one of the hobby stores right behind you.
Okay,
that's clear.
I turn around and I'm walking towards the hobby store, and if any of these things come towards me, I'm going to hit them with my baton.
All right, just give me a fighting brawl as there's chaos happening. People are trying to get out, run out of the way. Maybe you're hitting monsters and customers alike.
30. I got 39 out of 35, so I'll spend the luck.
Okay, so that's exactly what you do. And you make it into the hobby store. You can see that there's a bunch of plants and vases set up and furniture and other things.
I go to the
hobby shop.
The thing and I lower the door.
You're going to just lower the security shutter? Sure, great. Bob, what's up?
Looking for the nearest fire alarm, whether it's something on the wall that I can pull.
Yeah, you can find one.
Right, I'm rushing over to that. None of this walking bullshit, and I'm pulling it.
All right, so you jump off your Segway and you run. Probably not you haven't ran in a long time. And you run over to the fire.
I'm not used to.
Yeah, I'm not paid enough for this. And you pull the fire alarm. It starts blaring. And as you are walking, you're avoiding these. I'm just going to call them flesh freaks. These freaks, they're jumping onto customers, and when they kill them, right, the dead bodies, they start to convulse as well.
This is some bloody Romero shit. What the fuck?
Yeah. What about you, Cliff?
All right, so Killian closed the security shutter behind him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the chain link sort of looking.
Yeah,
thing.
Killian
you can see me.
Yeah, Killian is basically separated, protected by a metal barrier.
Well, we got to get everybody that we can into one of these stores and close it so we can protect them. So, well, that one's closed. Is there one next door that I can everybody get in and close it behind us?
Yeah, there definitely is. Give me a luck roll.
All right.
Maybe I could interject this too. It takes more than a second to lower that thing.
Sure.
So maybe I'm in the process of lowering it. It's
okay. So if that's the case, I'm gonna usher.
I'll give you a few choices, right? You can either go with Killian to the hobby store, but there's also an electronics store, a toy store, a Hot Topic, construction store.
Oh boy, the hobby store is not a horrible choice. A construction store would definitely have lots of defensive objects in it. Killian, we should hole up in the construction shop. There's a lot more useful stuff in there that we could use.
Fine. And I will worm my way back through, hitting anybody that comes near me with.
All right, sounds good. We'll get to what happens when you do that. But the flesh freaks, they're gonna go, and Steve, you might become its next meal. So one of them is lunging at you, and they're all different too. This one has skin back flaps that look like wings that try to glide towards you. And its legs are bisected right down the middle, and it's walking on fours. And it's lunging at you with these bone scythes that are replacing its forearms. So what are you doing? Are you fighting back, or are you going to dodge? Because it's going to attack you right now.
Dodge. You know what? I've got a baton. I'm gonna extend it. And, not today, you Halloween freaks! It's Christmas. I'm ready.
All right, give me a fighting roll.
Nothing sacred.
All right, that is a 32, which is yeah, that's a hard. It's not a.
It's a hard. Okay, why don't you roll your d6 plus damage bonus?
Yeah. All right, that's a 9.
Oh my lord! You bring down your nightstick. It smashes its head open. It splits open what remains of its skull. You can see the remnants of rain ooze flying everywhere, splattering the white tile floor, splattering all over the Christmas decorations. And your nightstick also breaks in half. So you no longer have your nightstick. Gonna have to get real creative.
Merry Christmas, asshole!
And as you say that, in the background, the giant Christmas tree on fire starts to topple in the center of the mall. Meanwhile, Cliff, you're being attacked by another flesh freak.
All right.
This one has legs that are bent at odd angles that rotate like helicopter blades. What are you doing? Fighting back or dodging?
I'm going to uncap my pepper spray and let loose on it.
Okay. Roll pepper spray.
All right. Would that be brawl?
Yeah. So it's going to get a running start, and it's going to lunge at you.
All right. I got a 45 out of 80.
Then that would be a success. And I would say as you uncap the pepper spray, you start spraying in the air in an arc, and you duck as it starts screaming at too high of a frequency, and it soars over your head, smashes into one of the columns, leaving quite a mark. So you avoid that attack.
Okay.
And last but not least, we'll have Derek be attacked in all this chaos. So this is the kid, right? He's tased. So let's see if I'll give him a con roll. No, Meat Face Blossom does not get to attack you.
Very good. And he's I've got eyes on him now, right? Or his changed condition. You said something about his ribs distending.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's going to leave vulnerable organs exposed to a good, swift, steel-toed boot kick.
Yeah, sure.
I need to put this thing down and begin collecting innocents and ushering them into the housewares pavilion, where I can provision myself with heavy
Very nice.
implements.
I'll let you have the fight back. Give me an unarmed.
It's regular success for that brawl.
All right, I believe that's a D3 plus damage bonus. Actually, with your steel-toed boots, I'll give you a D4.
And that's what my damage bonus is also. So we have a 4 and a 4.
8? Oh my. So you manage to stomp on its head, and it just starts twitching on the ground until it finally stops moving. Steve, it is your turn officially. What are you doing? You just lunged at. You managed to fight it off. You don't have a nightstick anymore because that's snapped. It's shattered with the force of your blow. You're in the middle of this commotion.
Mm-hmm. I'm running for shelter. Yeah.
Okay. Running for shelter. Got it. Are you on your Segway or are you leaving your Segway?
No, I'm leaving the Segway. I don't have time. And if there's a cute girl that looks like she's in distress, I'm gonna grab her too and go together.
Roll luck.
94. No, there are no.
No, no, there is a cute girl, but she's in the process of being eaten. So
Sucks to be her.
wonderful. Top of the order, Derek. You're running to the home goods like construction.
Yeah, I'm actually. I think the Segway makes an excellent propulsion method because it allows me to use the impetus of my own considerable form to stiff arm any creature that gets in my way, and I can also hit the shoulder radio and say, Gideon, we need a SWAT team down here. Gideon, do you copy?
Yeah, so you hear as you get onto your Segway and you start revving it, ready to go. I'll need a drive roll first because it's one thing to just bob and weave through a crowd. It's another thing to drive a Segway through a crowd.
Right. 60 is not as good as 50.
Would you like to spend luck?
I'm going to burn some luck on that. I do not want to fall off my vehicle and be pounced on.
Wonderful. Meanwhile, all this time, Mariah Carey is still playing.
For a solid 83 minutes at this point.
No, it loops. So you managed to drive your Segway into the construction store, and you're radioing into Gideon. And Gideon, he's like, Derek, is that you? And you can hear pounding on the other side. It seems like he's pressed up against the door.
Yeah, 911 it real hard, Gid. We've got, I don't know, alien invasion? Some crazy shit. We're going to need SWAT teams with significant firepower.
They're going to get in here real soon, Derek. You always were my favorite.
I appreciate it, Gideon. We're going to get out of this okay. Just get that 911 call in.
It's already sent.
Excellent. Do you have is there someplace to hide in there?
I've stacked the vending machine against the door and I'm holding out so far.
Have yourself a Twix bar and relax. We're gonna get through this okay.
Give me a persuade to help him keep his shit together.
Can I charming. Yeah.
You are very charming.
It's a regular success only.
Okay. All right, so you calm him down. He says, if they forget I'm here, I can look at the cameras and let you know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, the numbers seem to be crazy. I'm hoping that some of them have emulated on the flaming Christmas tree. So that might
stay safe. Stay safe, Derek. Gotta go.
Oh,
and then you hear the sounds of an arm being hit with a metal pipe.
Wow.
Wonderful. Killian, you are making your way to the construction store.
Yeah. There's like a gardening center and stuff like that attached?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. This is one of the largest stores at the end of the
but as I go through the gate, I'm going to turn to close it as well. Okay. I see Cliff and Derek coming this direction, so I'll let them in. I don't know what happened to Robert. Is Robert heading this direction?
Bob is still outside. He goes after you.
Okay.
When I pull the cord, the intention is I'm going to head that way. So you might see me waddling in that direction eventually.
Where is Steve?
Steve is
also running
towards
for cover.
You.
Yeah.
But he's not quite there because he didn't quite use a Segway.
So as they're clearing the gate and I'm starting to bring it down, I just yell out, "Weapon of choice."
Wonderful. Great. Cliff, Bob, it's your turn.
I hear weapon of choice, and as I'm waddling towards it, so give me that motherfucking chainsaw!
So you're heading straight to the chainsaws. All right, very nice.
And I yell at him, I'm like, I believe me, I've tried it. It's not as easy as you think.
I've seen the movies. I'm going to give it a bloody good try.
Okay. Why don't you give me no roll required. You get a chainsaw.
Try a manual lawn edger. Those are awesome.
Meanwhile, Cliff, you are still outside. and one of them is going right for you. It's like hot on your heels. This is the one you peppered sprayed, and it's the one that's soared over your head.
All right. Do I think that if I mount my trusty Segway that I can outrun this thing?
If you roll a good drive auto roll, yeah. If not, it's going to grab onto you.
All right. I'm going to take my chances here and hop on the Segway and give her the onion.
All right. We'll call this a combat roll, so you can't push it.
36 out of 70.
Okay. All right. So it clatters with its scythe-like forearms, and it goes on the tile floor, trying to get to you. But then you rev your Segway, and you duck because as the shutters go down, that Killian's is lowering. At this point, I believe Steve is the only one outside, and that is where. But before Steve gets to go, these flesh freaks, most of them are busy consuming shoppers. But there's still one that is on you, Steve. So, this one's ribs are open. That looks like and it looks like a giant maw, and it's just trying to just come in and grab onto you. Why don't you give me some kind of dodge or fight back roll, as it is their
pepper
turn.
spray.
Okay.
Let's go.
You're gonna need a hard or better.
Rolled a 99, so no.
All right. In that case, why don't you take some damage? Take 6 damage.
Okay.
And its maw opens up, and it catches the back of your leg as you're sprinting away.
No.
So it's currently clinging on to you, and it's leaving a trail of blood as you're trying to limp along to the construction store. What are you doing now? It's your turn proper.
Is there something I can grab, like a giant goofy ass ornament I can grab and just like start banging it over the head? Something like that?
For sure. Let's say that there is a plaster gnome, Christmas elf. It's a Christmas elf that has been put up for decoration.
All right.
And you just grab it.
Yeah.
You're going to slam this thing that's attached to your leg. All right, it's going to fight back.
All right.
78's not going to do it for me.
Change up the dice here. Come on. 37. Yes, that is a hard.
Okay. Then I would say this plaster elf is going to be D6 plus damage bonus.
All right, that's a 9.
Okay. Now, 9 damage total will absolutely destroy this flesh freak. And it also shatters the elf as well, because it's just made of like plaster. And I'll give you one chance to slide under the security shutter before
closes. Yeah. We're sliding.
Give me a dex roll.
Oh no. My dex is my worst stat.
Steve, get in.
I don't slow down on that.
Cold-blooded Killian.
We
78.
Come on. I'm trying
78.
78. My dex is 40.
Okay, so as you slide, you go for a power slide, and then it just shuts.
No. Can I lift up a little bit on it? Can I try to lift it up?
Yeah. Give me a strength roll.
All right.
If you fail, Cliff, you're gonna just see Steve get eaten.
Let's see. Can I spend 6 luck?
Of course you can.
No? All right. I'm going to spend 6 luck to make it a success. No.
It's not going down all the way. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Just Jesus Christ, kill it.
I'll put it up a few inches so he can pull.
All right, Steve, you squeeze through a space that's maybe 7 inches. And you press yourself against the ground. Cliff and Derek probably
scrape my back the entire way, I'm sure.
Yeah,
fooling around.
You're those of you who've been attacked, your clothing's been like shredded, you're bleeding, and you managed to your way through into this hardware store. And that's when the security shutter closes.
Whew. Thanks,
banging on it.
You're a real one.
I understand, Killian, that you have limitations that aren't your fault, but if you pull any shit like that again, we're going to feed you to the monsters.
What shit? I just closed the fucking door.
You closed it in my face, man.
We should have moved
Pay
faster.
attention,
Kill
kid.
me.
Pay attention, kid. You're a coward and a weakling. It's not your fault. Don't fuck up again, all right? Thanks.
Kid?
Now, well, I mean, intellectually at the very least. This security gate, does it have one of those human doors that you can like close it, do the count, and then lock and unlock a person door?
I think you go out the back into the
or right
outside.
Yeah, so I will say no, but from your surroundings, you know that there's some maintenance tunnels, and then you know there's the exit to the parking lot.
There's probably also people in this.
Yeah, there are people huddled around, people climbing on top of shelves for cover. It looks like the flesh freaks that were in the department store have been either fought off or gone somewhere else. So this is your one moment for breathing, for breather.
Killian, you probably won't hurt anybody this way. Can you get a tally of the customers that are in the shop and maybe gather them together in a safe area? I think the camping area might be very nice. There's some folding outdoor chairs there, and we can assess any injuries, all that. We want, I don't know, maybe Mitchell Masters, do you want to see about barricading the door to the rear exit so that we don't get surprised by any of these creeps?
So it should be a steel door.
Yeah, you got it, Derek. You and I, we need to patch ourselves up here in a minute, too.
Yeah, and I'm going to need to put some dressing on this shoulder injury before... Oh, yeah, I'm going to actually need to find some outdoors gear because I'm soaked with my own blood.
Well, Bob, do you want to
We need to get you to a hospital, too. You don't want to get that rabies, man. You got to get a bunch of shots.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing... I don't know. Does my arm look like... Are there any, like, weird black veins coming out of the area of the injury or anything?
No, it looks just like a nasty bite.
Look, rabies
and the transformations outside... Rabies...
Rabies takes at
man.
least 10 days to.
If you ever get scared of water, let us know.
Yeah,
I will.
Rabies takes at least 10 days before it manifests, so you're just gonna have to get your shots.
Also,
I'm getting
rabies
a
does
weapon.
not cause your ribs to open up and start chewing on stuff. So I think we're dealing with another kind of pathogen here, Kill.
All the same to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get that manual etcher.
Okay, great. You
With a
find
sharp
one.
crescent-shaped blade.
Great.
And then I'm going to go do what he said. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Try to, call them, get them together.
It's just not my job.
I don't think he's the man for that job, Derek.
Just trying to keep him out of.
All you folks who are hiding, come over here to the camping section. We've got the creepy crawlies blocked off.
Right.
Grab a
And
weapon
there's-
if you need one.
as you look past the security shutters, you can see that the initial frenzy that they were in, these flesh freaks, they're no longer in a frenzy after killing like a bunch of people and transforming them. They've calmed down a bit. Now they're just lethargic and just swaying. You can actually see some of them start to hug the walls and the columns of this mall. And one specifically, they hug a column, one of them that's supporting up the upper levels of the floor, and they sink into it, right? So as you see this column, usually made of this white support, it starts to take on these organic features. This column is now looking more like bone, and one of the walls that it's pressing, another one that's pressing into, it's getting a very fleshy texture like a tongue. And even the skylights, they're starting to look like corneas. And these are just little splotches of mall. So give me a sanity roll for that one.
Yeah, we need to get the SWAT team here and get the fuck out of town because this is a bad situation. And that's a fail sand roll.
All right, D6.
Yippity. Ah, 1. Ha 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 ha. Bullet dodged.
Bullet dodged. Wonderful. What about everyone else? Anyone get over 5?
we
Is it
all
nothing
seen
for
this?
pass?
It's 1 for a pass.
1 for pass.
1/1d6.
Okay, took 1.
Same.
1.
Also passed.
Wonderful.
I wanted a talent, damn it.
Yeah, you could have gotten the talent. Right. So
It's
as this
early
is all-
days.
his company, as all of this is happening, you can see some customers, they've started to form their own groups and they've barricaded other sections of this department store off. They've armed themselves with like lawnmower blades or like pitchforks. What are you all doing?
Are there any exits left unsecured?
Yes. There are some entrances to the maintenance tunnels,
Bob, you
which
know-
go behind every store.
How many of those are there, Bob? Let's get these battened up.
Yeah, I'm thinking if there's any welding kits or anything like that in here, if we do need to seal them shut, then find a way to make sure those unsecured entrances are secured.
Yeah, I'd actually think there's plenty of mid-range hardwood and nail guns. And it is true that there is more stored behind the walls than there is in front of the walls. Everything's stored on site. So we've got a lot of tunnels, but we can, and frankly, the nail gun seems like a pretty handy implement right now. However, I'm going to the emergency first aid area.
The nail guns, they don't do enough damage. I've tried.
Who the hell have you been shooting with a nail gun?
Neighbor cats and things like that.
What the fuck? I'm just stepping back from him a little bit.
No, they
I'm
get
gonna
into
go-
the yard. And
I'm gonna go find a weapon. I broke my baton.
What are you trying to find?
you need something
Like
with a blade.
like a weed whacker or a hedge trimmer, something something with a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
of length
So-
to it.
Yeah, weed whacker normally can't kill people, but with some modifications, it definitely can.
What about the hedge
Shovel.
trimmers? They've kind of got that like serrated blade along. the
Oh,
end of
sure,
it.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's lawnmowers, ladders, gasoline, leaf blowers.
Oh, there's any
Leaf
number of solvents and other aerosol things.
This is a
that-
hardware store.
Yeah.
There's even
Yeah.
like a cement saw.
It's pitchforks.
I'm gonna grab a hedge trimmer and some of like the large
You can grab
like,
multiple.
clippers, and then I'm gonna go to the first aid station. try to
Okay,
patch
with
myself
Derek.
up with Derek.
Sure. What about everyone else?
Well, let's as we're securing all these exits, I think it would be a good idea to leave at least one of these exits to the tunnels accessible in case we need to get out of here.
Okay. Yeah, right. Let's see what that looks like first. So, Cliff, you head over to one of these maintenance tunnels. And on your way there, you see people like run out towards the parking lot. And they open the door, they've run out, and then you just hear crunching on the other side.
No.
Closing that door.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to look at it, but didn't sound good. Not at
I don't
all.
want to look at that.
Not at all.
You
And as
know-
you get to the maintenance tunnel, right? You're gonna open the door?
Well, I think depending on how many entrances there are, we can block off all of them except leave one secured. But if we have to, able to get down there in case. I'm worried about all these people in here.
Oh yeah.
And we're locked
They're
in.
terrified.
If any of them catch this, whatever this disease is or whatever, I want to be able to get out of here pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah. You can open the maintenance tower tunnel. And you've been down these all the time because it's your job as a mall cop, security guard. But it doesn't look like a maintenance tunnel. It looks like a sand roll that you're going to roll.
Oh,
Because this maintenance tunnel now looks like the inside of a vein. And there's
I
polyps
passed.
on the wall.
But I passed, but I'm not happy about what I'm seeing.
Okay. Well, it's just going to be 0.
Bob, what is?
Look,
Yeah.
I get you guys are all kind of freaking out right now, but I mean, if you've been good people and you've lived a good life, you don't have much to worry about. It's the end of the world. This is
Meanwhile,
just before the end of the world.
Derek, you do get to your first aid. And with your first aid kit, Steve's there also, right? Because I remember.
Yeah.
That's right.
Steve can help out if
Yeah.
he wishes.
Yeah. I got good first aid, Derek. I got you.
Yeah, the bite looks
Yeah.
pretty bad, but doesn't look infected. Just very bloody, very
Any
painful.
bonuses for the first aid kit? Or
I would
anything?
say it's bonus die.
Yeah. It's possible that they inject something at a certain point in the attack, and because I interrupted the attack, I haven't been poisoned.
It's a hard success. Hard success.
Hard success. All right, that's I'll give it a 1d4. It's usually
1d4 coming back. It's a 4. It's 3 consecutive 4s on
great
that
work.
die. Like that die. 16.
Derek, you think you could get my leg, man?
Absolutely. Let me have a look at that. I didn't do a great job with the kid out there. Don't be nervous about it. It was because he was physically transforming. So I'm just gonna.
Do you think is this some like demonic something? Do you think?
Yes.
I'm guessing it's an alien invasion, personally, but we won't know.
I broke up with this real gothy chick who worked at Hot Topic last week. Do you think this is like karmic retribution or something? Do you think she did this?
My guess is that it's something extraterrestrial, but who can say, really?
This all started Y2K.
I've got a hard success. I can spend 4 to make it an extreme.
if you spend 4, then they'll heal 4.
All right, Steve, I got you. It's gonna sting a little bit.
All right, you just take the alcohol, pour it on their leg.
Weirdly, I
then-
swig that isopropyl alcohol and then spit it over it, but it's very effective.
As long as I can still.
What a technique!
Week.
Over the radio, there's you hear Gideon's familiar voice. He says, "Is anyone out there?"
Hey, Ged, good to hear you. Good to hear you.
Oh, Derek, you're still alive. Good to hear.
You bet.
I'm
Well,
held up
barricaded-
here. Yes, I'm held up here in the security room. I've looked at the cameras outside. It doesn't look too good. Parking lot looks like a death trap. There's these tentacles popping out of the ground.
Yeah,
Russian
it
cars.
seems do you have any access to broadcast media? Is this a very local event, or are we looking at something that's happening all over the
I
place?
see the military's formed a perimeter outside the mall, but
Good
they aren't
sign, good
moving
sign.
at all. They've got spotlights set up, barricades, and then he turns on, and then you can hear him click away on his remote, but nothing on the news.
I wouldn't blame them for keeping it a secret. I tell you again, what we're going to do is we've got some civilians in here. We've got eyes.
We gotta
on
get them
tunnels.
safe.
We've got to get them and us out of here. And do you know what if there is any of the access tunnels that go out beyond where the military is encamped, so we can come out and say, hello, we're civilians, take care of us.
Yeah, I know some of that. I know that stuff. And then that's when you hear banging on the door again. It's like, oh God, they heard me.
Yeah.
You got to get to me, please.
Do you know where the access tunnel nearest you is? Where we'd like to come and help.
Yeah, but you might not have enough time. It'd be quicker to go through. And then we'll pan the camera through the security shutters, past the flaming Christmas tree, and to the security office. I will say, you do know the layout of the mall. And there are a couple opportunities, should you wish to go out there, where there is a very large truck on display in a vehicle shop, as well as some other electronic stores, toy stores, candy stores. There's a Victoria's Secret,
Helpful.
if you get creative enough.
We can make an excellent slingshot out of some of those baby doll garments, I believe, but I think more practical matters. So if 3 of us make a tactical run for that 4-wheel drive pickup that's mounted on the little ramp.
And you know that the body decal of this truck is an American flag with eagles.
Yeah, we can get if we each have something that can generate fire and a pitchfork at hand, we can plow over some of these creeps and get Gid out, and Gid knows the underground better than any of us do. What do you think? Cliff, Steve? Also, if we leave Killian alone with the civilians, is he going to do something weird?
I think we should all go, Derek.
Well, that would be best. I mean, as we've never really had to operate as a team before, but I think this is our opportunity.
You think do you think Gideon will give us a promotion if we save him?
Oh yeah. I not just Gideon. I mean, the mall's going to owe us. Hell, we might be getting medals of honor by the time this is all over with, right? The military is right outside, and they're scared of what's going on in here, but we know this mall.
Well, a couple of us already got Purple Hearts.
Chicks love medals, man. Let's do it.
All right.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
We're going to go save Gideon.
Yeah, we're going to cruise over some of the creeps in the big truck that's available for that giant Bronco. That's the raffle prize. That's in the middle of the aisle. Just drive over these monsters. We're going to smash into the executive sector. We're going to grab Gideon, who's honestly losing his shit, and we're going to go through the tunnels and get out of here with as many of our civilian friends as we can. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll go get Ged, and then we'll come back through the tunnels for you and the civilians, because honestly, we don't really want to shepherd them through the chaos anyway.
I think you got some sort of hero complex. Why do we give a fuck about Gideon? I mean, he's just another employee.
He's a human being we know.
Yeah, but we got human beings right here if you want to do stuff.
I do want to care for those human beings as well. Yeah.
You've already said that there's military out there. There's no point. This is the end of the world. Come on.
So Killian, Gideon has eyes on the situation because of the security cameras, and he's told us directly that the military is maintaining a perimeter. That is to say, they're not coming to save our asses. So I don't know what kind of end of the world you want to experience, but I don't actually want to be attacked by a thing that makes my body grow into a horrible grotesque that then clamps onto a mall and turns it into a giant digestive system.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I've waited for this my whole life. I mean,
wouldn't access to the security cameras be good anyway, though?
Yeah, but Gideon's trapped
watch all those freaks. Well, yeah, but if we go to him, then we'll be there with the security cameras.
All right, you know what? It's easier just to go along with what you guys want to do. So, I'll go out first. You guys follow behind me. I'll head towards the truck. You guys can get the truck, and I'll get in. I want to cut off some heads.
Okay, so what are you all using? Right, we're doing like a montage where you equip yourself in a hardware store.
I'm just using my.
So just that you're just taking that. You can take
my
much
crescent-shaped blade. Doing what?
You can take much more. As much as you can carry. So
maybe I'll grab a knife or something.
Okay.
There are backpacks in this houseware store.
Yes, correct.
Oh yeah.
Because you're going out there with them. So now's the time when they're not on you and attacking. So
I'm guessing that there is something on the order of a machete.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lawnmower blade, actual machete.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be axes.
All right, you grab one of those.
Yeah,
I don't want an axe. I want a hatchet. I want a couple of hatchets.
I'll take an axe.
Okay, great. They still have their tags.
Hedge trimmer.
Actually,
axe.
and there are some nice utility belts. One of them's really expensive, but you've
been eyeing that for a while.
I've been eyeing that utility belt. I can fit a couple of hatchets right on this hip, carry the machete in this hand, and I definitely I think these things don't like fire, so I'm going to look for a few cans of solvents and one of those backyard grill lighters that has the distant.
Okay.
Yeah, but
you
fire. Look, fire can get out of hand really quick.
Yeah. And
we don't have the means of stopping the fire.
Did you see the Christmas tree? I mean, it's 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it's still smoldering.
Correct.
The sprinklers came on. I think, if I You saw what happened to Steve's baton against one of those things' heads.
It was effective, though.
Wasn't
It was
paying
effective.
attention.
No question, no question. But it was shattered. Whereas I could light up 3 of those fuckers, and they could run around setting each other on fire. I like it. And Killian, you want to take up some heads? I'm not harshing your mellow. Take off some heads.
I don't want to
You're
have
a
to
fire
deal with
guy.
fire, though, because fire hurts.
Fire does hurt. Yeah, I mean, pepper spray hurts these guys. I think a nice aerosol solvent and an open flame is going to hurt them even more.
Well, then we should get goggles.
Goggles is not a bad idea.
All right. And then you snap them in. All right. Is anyone grabbing anything else or making any other preparations?
I'm going to grab a backpack,
Okay.
some rope, machete, a fire extinguisher.
There's riding mowers right over here.
Slow. Cool, but slow.
And goggles, and then one of those a tamper, like it's like a long wooden stick with like a metal square at the end that you use to tamp down ground.
Great. You got it.
We can keep them at
Push those back, you bet. Yep. Simple prod. I don't seem super smart, just really weird. Fire extinguisher is a good idea. We can get a mini one in my backpack too. And, there's probably, I think if at least 3 of us had first aid kits, wouldn't hurt in case we get another.
If this is like Home Depot or something like that, then they've probably also got, what do you call it? They've got rope that you can pull out a long thing of it and cut it off so that you've got whatever length you want. Some of those nylon cords are, like climbing ropes. They're pretty strong. I'll just grab 50 feet of that just in case. Tie somebody up or tie a bunch of people up.
Okay.
Or maybe climb.
And as you collect your materials, more and more of this mall is becoming organic.
Yeah, what's that about? It's the end of the world. It's all in the Bible. Wait till we get to the flying scorpions.
All right. So now that everyone's locked and loaded with hardware equipment, you're going to open the shutter and go out there.
Yeah. I'm going out swinging.
Okay. Right. So you open up the shutters again. This time, there's a lot of them, but they're like shambling around. And just give me some fighting brawl rolls to see if you make it to where you want to go before things get a little too crazy.
You want us to do like
I'm looking
3?
for 3 successes out of 5 for your group.
04. Aha.
Oh, okay. I'll count that for 2.
I got an 04 too.
All
I
right.
got 24.
I got a hard.
So, yeah, we'll just montage your way over there as you burst through the shutters and you use your lawn equipment to hack and slash and fight your way down the aisle to the vehicle display. And we'll do like a slow motion with Derek and Steve swinging back to back and blood flying in the air. And you fight your way there. You can see on your way there, though, you pass the kids area. And in the kids area is a mascot, a statue of a mascot that's like maybe 15 feet tall. And there's someone currently clinging on for dear life. There's these flesh freaks surrounding the base. It says, "Help!" It looks like a college kid who's climbed up there to try and find safety. But it's out of
How
the
many
way.
things are surrounding him?
I would say at least 4.
Yeah, that kid's got pluck. He's not going to be able to hold on for very long. If you guys want to hop in the truck and drive back, we'll try to splat these guys before the kid falls into their mouths.
Does this thing?
What's your name, son?
This truck works.
My name's Danny. I can't hold on for long. He loses a shoe.
Yeah, the truck was driven onto the little, display ramp with the
Correct.
AstroTurf and the fake boulders. So I don't know
Yep.
how much gas it has in it, but
Are the keys even there?
Maybe it's up to a luck roll.
Gideon might have the keys.
They're not.
That being said, what's the plan?
I'm gonna. How many of the goons are underneath Danny?
4.
Or yeah, I'm gonna go for calves with the machete.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a fighting brawl.
I'll
I'm
join
going-
Derek in the fray. Yeah.
I'm going for necks.
Oh, so you're all going in to
Sure.
save this guy? All right, then I'll just go in combat order.
I'm not going in to save the guy. I'm just going in because
You like kill him. Great. All right. Derek, you rush in with your machete.
Yeah, I have an 11, so that's an extreme.
Okay. I will say that you terminate this flesh freak with extreme prejudice, but also you destroy your blade, your machete blade, so that just snaps in half at the force as you
So
cut it
these
to
things are
ribbons.
getting bonier. Is that why our implements are having
Yeah.
such a hard time?
They don't make them like they used to.
Meanwhile, there's 3 left. Killian, what about you?
I swing at one of their necks. I got a 16,
Okay. Is that a hard
which is
or an
that is
extreme?
a hard. Yeah,
Okay. D8 plus damage bonus for sure.
D8 plus. I don't have a damage bonus.
Okay.
Where's my D8? There's my D8. 3.
Rolluck.
48 out of 61.
All right, so it doesn't get lodged into this thing, and it pulls out quite easily. And your weapon is kind of dented, but still usable. What about you, Bob?
I think I'm going to go in with that chainsaw.
Oh, all right, so you rev it up. Give me a fighting brawl roll.
The Great Keeper in the Sky gives me a skill that I'm much better with. So. I will spend 2 points of luck to make it a success.
Okay. I believe a chainsaw is 2d8
It is.
from memory. Hell yeah.
It is. Yep. And that'll be 11 points.
Oh my lord. So you just cut one right in half, but they still crawl towards you, and then you go in for a vertical swing and just chop them to bits. Cliff,
Listen, guys.
what about you?
All right. Are any of these things on the ground?
Oh yeah, a lot of them are on the ground. There's about 1 left.
All right. I'm gonna go up to it and smash it with the tamper.
Okay. Give me fighting brawl.
All right. That's a regular success.
Okay.
What damage am I looking at? With this one?
D8 plus damage bonus.
All right. All right. I'm gonna spend 10 luck and add an extra die.
Oh, okay. So that's 2d8 plus damage bonus.
All right. 7 points.
7, that's enough. And you squash, dead. The college kid, he says, "Oh, thank God," and he starts to slip. Cliff, Steve, you can catch him because you haven't acted yet.
Yeah. I got you, man. I got you.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll me a. It would be dexterity, right? But
Yeah.
I will say throw, because if you want to throw, you got to learn how to catch.
All right. I'll spend the 2 points of luck to make it a success.
All right, you catch this college kid, and he's got long hair. He's got a Supreme sweater on. Oh, thanks. Oh, I thought I was a goner there.
We got you, Dan. Let's go.
You're,
We're going
you're
to shelter.
security guards. You know what to do, right? Is the helicopter coming? Is there safety?
Come with us for safety. Let's
Where are
go.
we going?
We are.
With us if you want to live.
And you're just gonna rush to the mount where this truck is. Yeah, my name's Danny. I knew there was some weird shit going on tonight.
Or Black
You
Friday.
know about it? What's going
Yeah,
on?
man, bad shit always happens on Black Friday. I fancy myself one of those paramental researchers.
What?
You know, the paramentals where
Whoa.
things outside this world affect us.
I
So
try
this
to
is
restrain
some
myself
demonic
from
shit.
Yeah.
Danny, is this the war on Christmas that my dad's always talking about?
I think
Are
it
we
might
in the
be.
war on
I think it
Christmas?
might be, and he grabs both your shoulders. looks you in the eye.
Atheists won.
We gotta do this, Danny. We gotta save everyone. And Christmas.
I'm not crazy, you know. This is proof. And he points to the destruction all around, shattered storefronts, burning Christmas tree in the background, just bodies that have been transformed, and lots of organic just environment, right?
What do we do, Danny? You know, you're the expert. What is this? What do we do?
Listen. Christmas music's still playing.
Yeah.
But there's something underneath it. Give me a listen roll, everyone, if you are listening.
Are you telling me to listen?
Mariah Carey any more than I have to.
21.
All right, you will need a hard or above.
No luck.
Hard.
Okay.
8 is an extreme.
Ooh.
I'll let them hear it then.
All right, then it's a drone of static, and it's coming like crashing waves, but beneath that, and beneath all that Christmas music, is a electronic buzzing voice saying, "The time to go home is soon," and it's just repeating that.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear
I'd
anything.
very much like to go home, but
Yeah.
It's quite uncanny.
It's Jesus.
Gideon, can you control the PA system from in there?
You, through the radio, you're hearing the sounds of combat.
Crunching.
You're getting yelling a battle cry, and you hear an impact of a metal pipe. I'm still holding on, Derek.
Okay,
No.
we want to turn the music off. We're on our way in the truck. Hang in there. Stay
All right.
strong, kid.
You'll
I
have
know
to
you got it in
hotwire
you
the
again.
truck or find the keys.
hot wiring not a problem.
Okay, I would say that's a mechanical repair.
Okay. So I will use my handy talent, so I get a bonus die on mechanical repair or
All right.
electrical repair, both.
Beautiful. I will say the cab of this truck can fit 4 people, but right now you have 6.
I'm hopping in the back.
All right.
So that I can still swing at people's heads while I'm going by.
I will take
Yeah.
the 09 rather than 89.
Oh, wonderful. It's like that talent is meant to help heroes.
I've
right,
never
you
felt so alive.
Put the wires together and it sparks to life. And there is a bit of gas. It's not quite empty, but it's not quite half. It's not even a quarter way, but there is gas.
It's enough to drive.
Correct. That being said, who is driving? Because the engine roaring to life has gotten the attention of these flesh freaks.
I'm a relatively good driver, unless anyone else objects.
You got this, Bob.
Honk,
Shit.
honk,
I'm actually a really good driver, but I don't want to drive.
All right, so you honk the horn. And when you honk the horn, it is the Star Spangled Banner, but in honks. So I need to know where everyone is in this truck.
I'm in the back.
Back. Frost is in the back.
Also in the back. I'm
Back.
I'm prepared to do a sweeping fire thing so that nobody
Okay.
hops in.
All right.
I think I'm in the back seat with Danny with like an eager look on my face and like nodding at his every word.
Okay. In the cab is Bob, Steve, and Danny. And what about
Feeling
Cliff?
like I wouldn't be caught dead in this bloody thing, but yeah.
Is shotgun open? Is this a single cab or a crew cab? Like,
It's a crew cab.
okay, shotgun.
Shotgun's open.
All right, shotgun. Great.
So I am going to use that rope that I grabbed to sort of make a stirrup, or not a stirrup.
A lasso?
What I'm going to do is I want to secure myself to the truck so that if he drives crazy, I don't get flung out of the back. I might get flung over the side, but then I'll just continue cutting things as I'm hanging from the side of the truck.
I think use rope is down darker trails only, so we'll roll dexterity for that one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I've got high dexterity. Let's see. Yeah, I got a regular pass on dexterity.
All right, so you just finish. You're not in time yourself as the truck lurches forward and goes off the stand. Bob, I want to see a drive roll.
So I would like to see a good one. Hopefully the polyhedral gods are on my side. I will spend 7 luck to make that a pass.
Okay. Beautiful. So you fly gracefully off this podium, no, this stand, and at this point, these creatures, they're trying to grab onto you, and I will say, oh my lord, five have grabbed onto the truck bed, and they're trying to climb their way up. One of them is on the windshield.
Oh,
The front windshield?
Yeah, the front windshield. We'll go into combat proper now. Derek, you're in the back. 5 are hanging on by their various claws. One of them is sneering at you. Their entire head is a giant nose, and the nostril is lined with teeth. And they're trying to bite at you. What are you doing?
Yeah. I assume that my aerosol solvent and barbecue lighter is the same skill as pepper spray.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the one who's got his eyes and nose at me.
Yeah.
But I
the other side
do
of this nose, right? It's got a giant eyeball with too many pupils in it, looking around. So you're just gonna give it a nice dose. I'm
gonna give him a squirt right up the nose, and then just start an arc back and forth. God damn it! Why do I roll an 87 for an 80? I'll spend it.
All right, I love luck spends.
Such a good skill. Such a crap roll. All right. So, and I don't know if fire volatiles and fire probably do more than pepper spray in damage, but I don't know what.
Definitely roll 2d8 for that one.
Okay. 3, 7, 10 total.
Okay, so it starts to just scream from its 2 nostril mouths, and it lets go and it tumbles back, and it hits one of the stalls, just shattering, just absolutely throwing around a bunch of knockoff watches, scattering them around, mixing with blood and burning flesh. The ground beneath you is fleshy. It's sinking in, dipping in a little like you're pressing on skin. And it's going to be Killian's turn as 3 more of these things are grabbing onto the back of this truck bed.
This is pulp. So
yes,
while I'm holding on to the ropes, I pull out one of my hatchets. I flip it up, catch it, and I bring it down on the head of the closest one.
Okay, give me a fighting brawl roll.
4.
All right. That's gonna be just 8 plus your damage bonus maximum. It's dead. No need to roll. And I will say you destroy this thing, but your hatchet head, it just gets lodged in its skull and then it bounces off and tumbles away.
I've got another one.
Yes, you do. Let's see. Bob at the wheel. There's currently this fleshy creature on the windshield. You can still drive, but you'll drive at a penalty time.
No, I have a plan. With one hand, I'm going to flick the windscreen wiper on.
Excellent.
And then yell for everyone as I hit the brakes and try to get this thing to fly off the front.
Okay, those of you in the back, you should make me a dexterity roll. So hold on. But you would get a bonus die, Killian, because you tied a rope around yourself. You are muted.
Stunned into silence.
Do I take the better roll?
Yeah.
Okay, then I already got 64.
Great.
I got 38.
All right. You can see Danny. He's desperately trying to clip on his seatbelt. But let's see what happens to Danny. Oh no, he flies up and smashes his head.
That's fine. There's no sense, no feeling. You'll be fine.
What about you, Derek?
Dexterity hard.
Danny rolled a 100 on his con roll, so he's knocked out.
Might actually be better if he's not
For
awake.
which we are eternally grateful.
All right, wonderful. So, and this monster, obviously, it goes flying and it goes up to the second floor of the mall. Beautiful, beautiful maneuver. Now, Cliff, it is your turn. You are still in the shotgun seat. One of them's trying to climb its way to the door. And in fact, it takes one of its scythe-like forearms, it smashes the window, and there's glass that's shattering inside.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm going to take the bottom of one of the fire extinguishers and just bash at it to try to get it off the side of the vehicle.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you give me a firearms roll? Not a firearms, fighting brawl.
I need to spend 3 points.
It's going to try and fight back.
To make that happen. So I spend 3 points to make it a regular success.
All right, it did get a hard, so you're going to need a... You're going to need a hard as well, if you want to beat it in the fighting brawl, because it's fighting back.
I can't do that.
Okay, so as you try to smash the fire extinguisher into it, it spears you, and you take 11 damage.
Ugh.
As it goes right in your stomach, in your gut, and it like goes upwards, and it's hanging on with your body.
Oh, God, I gotta get this thing out of me.
Meanwhile, it's the monster's turn, and it's gonna, the two left that were clinging on, they're gonna climb into the truck bed and engage you one-on-one each. So, Derek, are you dodging or fighting back?
So my attempt to suppress with fire wasn't effective.
Oh, it got rid of one of them.
Right, but I was going to like sort of be swinging back and forth to try to prevent that kind of breach, but it didn't work. Maybe when the truck, break happened, like I didn't fly out, but I
gave them
an
advantage. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
They actually might have sort of fallen in. Fair enough. All right. Well, that's why we've got all these hatchets on our belts. And it really, the leather's nicely tooled. I've been admiring these things for a while, but it's like $140 for this tool set.
Nothing like a good tool. You can keep the tool.
That's the thing. So yeah, that's hatchet out, and I'm gonna go. I mean, these things have bony scythed limbs and weird screwed up heads as a rule.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
and they're all different.
I feel like the most effective thing is just, the sideways hatchet to the head / neck area. Like whatever you hit is going to interfere.
Okay, give me a fighting roll. And
fighting roll.
It failed actually, so all you need is success.
Well, then I have to spend 7 points because why am I failing on 80s?
Maybe Matt transferred his bad luck.
Could be. That's true. All right.
You're the voodoo doll tonight.
Regular smash of the hatchet against the creepy.
Yeah, I would say that's the D6 plus damage bonus.
So that's 2, 4 only.
All right, roll luck.
I cut its tongue off, is what I feel like. And I just spent some luck, so now I'm unsuccessful.
Oh, okay. Very nice. So your hatchet, it basically gets lodged into this thing, and you can't pull it out. So it's basically useless.
Car baby bullshit is getting me down, guys.
Very nice. All right, and moving on to Killian, you're being attacked by one of these fleshy things. You know how your forearm has 2 bones? Yeah, this one has morphed it into almost crab-like pincers of bone.
Okay.
They're going for your neck.
Does it have a head-like structure?
Oh yeah, it looks like ground hamburger meat, but looks like a head.
2 legs?
Yep, 2 legs.
Okay. So my edger,
Yep.
the blade like this.
Yep.
I spin it, I wedge it right underneath the thing's head, and I push with all my force to get it to flip off the truck backwards.
All right. Give me a fighting brawl roll. Let's see. Let's see you fight back.
23 fighting brawl. I'll pay to make that a hard.
Okay.
That's 6 points I have to spend.
All right. You needed a hard, so deal damage. I would say D8 plus damage bonus.
That's a 7. And my real intention was just to flip it off the back of the truck.
Then it goes off. Yeah, it goes off. You almost pop off its head. It goes like a hinge.
Yeah.
And it flies off. And that only leaves one in the bed of the truck dealing with Prince, and then another one with its scythe-like forearm inside of Cliff.
Mm.
Right. And the scythe with the one with the scythe inside of Cliff, it's now going to get its turn. And with its other arm, another one of those crab-like pincers, that's going to go for your neck. So, Cliff, what are you doing? Fighting back or dodging?
I'm gonna try to fight back and just grab it.
Okay.
Try to thrust it away from the vehicle.
Okay. I would say that this is an opportunity for Bob to scrape it against the wall or a pillar. So, if you'd like. So, I would need a drive auto roll from Bob and a fighting brawl roll from Cliff. What's your build, Cliff? This is a combat maneuver for sure.
I got a regular success.
What's your build?
Oh, pardon. Let's see. Build is 0.
0? Okay, no bonus die. You got a success. What about Bob?
Bob gets I think that's a hard. And yeah, that is a hard on my drive auto.
Okay, so as you rip it out of yourself, the spear tip dislodges. Why don't you take a d4 damage for that? As you wench it out and you hold it outwards, and Bob just drives right up next to a newly formed bone pillar, a mauled bone pillar, and it just splats.
All right, I'm gonna take 1 damage from that.
Okay.
Oh, that smarts.
Steve, what are you doing? It is your turn proper.
All right, so we have dislodged the thing from Cliff.
Correct.
All right. I don't think we have anything more in the car.
But in the bed of the truck, which you can access through a sliding window. You're built
Can I
too,
do anything from the back seat though? Would I have reach to do anything with an axe or a hedge trimmer? I don't necessarily know that I could.
You can do it, but it'd be risky. I'll impose a penalty die.
Sure, why not? Let's do
Okay.
it.
So you try and overextend.
Yeah, with a penalty die. Right.
Yeah, maybe Derek will like move it towards the window.
Surprisingly, that is still with the 76, but my fighting brawl is 80, so it still works.
Wonderful. So what are you doing?
I've extended the hedge clipper, and I'm kind of trying to like.
You're just snipping away at its back.
Yes.
Oh, gross. You're just cutting away at the sinew and the tendons. Why don't you give me a D6 plus damage bonus?
All right. Damage bonus, a D6 and a D6. All right. Oh my God, that's 2 6s.
All right, this thing's just destroyed. You're feeling this damage from the other side, Derek, as you're moving it. And like some shears poke through its back and pop out through its stomach and almost hit you.
Yeah. Got it, Steve. Killian, good call on the goggles, for Christ's sake.
All right. With combat over, I will say there's one more thing. There is a burning Christmas tree in the way. However, there is a ramp made from one of the stalls. So up to you. You can go through or you can go over.
Oh,
either way, it's going to be drive auto.
Shit. Yeah.
Purge us with fire! Hold on.
The dice love me tonight. 25 is under a half again.
Wonderful. So that's a hard. Okay. Right. So this American Eagle truck soars through the air over a burning giant Christmas tree. and it lands gracefully on the other side with only a bit of a bump. And the security door is right there, and there's two flesh freaks on it, trying to break it down. Yeah, okay. Give me another drive auto.
Yeah, I'm not running full speed into it, but enough to crush them at least. Up 0-2.
Oh, two? All right. So maybe you do a drifting skid, and it just crushes it to the side. You lose the side mirror, you lose the door, but you crush both of these flesh freaks.
Who needs a mirror? I can't control what's happening behind me anyway.
And Gideon, he says, God, is that you?
No, it's Avon. Who the fuck do you think it is?
Oh,
It's
all right.
Steve.
Oh, get in.
Righto. We've got the tunnel. You got the tunnels ready?
Yeah.
Everyone, he had the soda machine up against the door. Let's all have a refreshing beverage as we make our way to the tunnels.
Yeah, you can see that the soda machine is so damaged that soda cans have just spilt out onto the floor, which is a perfect time for a bio break.
Give me that Mountain Dew.
Absolutely.
10 minutes later.
I'm increasingly concerned about being digested by the mall itself. So let's get into those tunnels and get
the hell out of here.
Right.
behind the military established border.
As the heroes finish up their break in the break room, we get back to the action of One Night in Hell in the Mall of Pain. So
I was thinking about that actually. That you say get behind the military. What if they're just going to pull a kind of the crazies on us, and we're going to run towards them, and then they're just going to mow us down? I'd be more inclined to think that this whatever's happening here has to be happening for a reason, or there must be some center, some heart of what's making this thing work. If we take it out and show that we've got rid of it, then they're more than likely they'd be more inclined to let us actually live rather than just mow us down like civilian casualties.
Right, and we do have the shoppers still in the homewares despot. Gideon, the PA system, there's something going on with the music that I think is part
there?
of. There is.
All right, and he fiddles around with the control panel, and he shuts the music off. But there's still a voice, now no longer being obfuscated by the layer of Christmas music, and it is clearly saying, "Preparing to go home."
It's not over the PA. It's just loud.
It is over the PA.
It's over the PA. Okay.
Yeah.
And in English.
Yes.
All right, Gideon, could we source this? Is there a microphone, a live microphone from where could this be coming from?
I don't know. It's definitely not from admin. That's right over there, and that's been emptied out. I have no idea. But things look pretty grim, Derek. And he flips through the channels of the security feed, and you can see that the parking lot has cracked open. The earth itself has cracked open, and these sinewy tendrils just waving in the wind. The military is still holding its ground. It's got searchlights set up, the army vehicles, stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen. And then he scans to other parts of the mall, and they're just slowly being subsumed by this organic flesh. It's becoming a mall of flesh.
Yeah, it's. I don't know how things have been for you in here, Gideon, but it's really sickening out there. The floor has pores and hair coming out. It's vile. So is there a master control for the PA that we can somehow silence this voice, or is there some mechanism? Is there a camera on every microphone that's attached to the system?
I've heard something that might lead us to the source. I think it sounds like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And those of you who want to listen, you do hear the low, sonorous thrums of a colossal heart are echoing throughout the mall, like a little softly.
Where's that coming?
Give me a listen roll to locate that.
Again, I must have stolen someone's dice because these aren't rolling like my normal ones. 19.
I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So it's definitely coming from either within the maintenance tunnels or below the mall. And just as you come to that realization, Gideon, he's still looking through the cameras, and that's when you see a military vehicle start to attempt to make its way through the parking lot towards the mall itself. And it's being flapped by these tendrils that are coming from the cracked ground. It's driving over cars, crushing them. And it's almost at one of the entrances, the glass entrances into the mall proper. Right outside, actually.
This is a military vehicle that's coming in?
Yeah.
I got it. I'm going to go running out there to...
All right, so you did barricade the security room first, so you'll have to spend time and unbarricade it. But I will say, you do hear the glass shattering as it just drives through the front into the mall itself. And that's when you hear military jargon being spewed out, people yelling to go, go, go. And you start to hear fully automatic gunfire and explosions from outside the security room. And it looks like they're cleaning up these flesh freaks pretty well.
They might not recognize that we're uninfected. Let's get into the underground, guys. Danny, wake Danny up. Danny.
Yeah, he's out cold, so you splash you crack a soda can and splash it on his face.
Yeah,
He
pour a little
wakes up.
jolt on
What's
him.
going on? Is that
time to
gunfire?
Gotta get out of here, Danny.
What's happening? And that's when you hear a rumbling.
Like a tank?
Not like so you heard the tank-like vehicle. This is louder than that.
Indigestion on a mall scale.
Yeah, it's like the mall is shuddering from the damage that's been done inside of it. And this gunfire, you hear screaming, and then they say, "Focus on that!" And they all start to shoot at whatever that is. And you just
Get in camera.
Okay, he switches the camera, roll sanity.
I'm not looking at that.
Okay, if you're not looking at it, that's
totally was. Oh, 1! Yes!
a 1. Okay, a 1's a D6. D6 on a success. D20 on a failure.
79. Oh boy.
D6 on a success?
Correct.
3.
Well,
I'll take it. 3.
It's only a 9, which on a D20 is pretty good.
That is pretty
Spend
good.
the 18.
You want to spend 18 to take 5 instead? Because you always round down for Sam loss. Either way, you're going into a bout, which might mean you get an insane talent. I mean, you're getting an insane talent one way or the other.
I have spent a significant part of my luck so far. I've had very little sand loss until now, and now I am going to roll intelligence, which I did fail. So there's that. Because I have an intelligence of 50 and 80 is... Matt, how did you take those ducks? Suspicious.
Okay.
So
you failed the intelligence or you passed?
I failed the intelligence.
Okay. So you don't get an insane talent. Unlucky.
No, I don't. I get nothing except down to 49.
All right. You're keeping it together as you see this rolling mass of hamburger meat get shot at by these soldiers. And this mass of hamburger meat, it's about 20 feet across. And it's every single time these bullets are hitting it, eyes are opening up where the holes are. And it just rolls over them like a wave.
Okay,
And
so
it continues down the mall aisle.
We have to leave. We have to get very far away. It's the military.
You said that it was coming from the underground, right? Can we get to the basement?
Oh yeah, we can get to the basement through the tunnels, but let's see how actually Gideon fared. Oh, he succeeded. Okay. He's holding it together. I'm one more day from retirement.
I took 5 points.
Okay, so roll your intelligence, please.
I got 34 out of 90, so I got a hard
Oh, okay. So why don't you roll D10?
D10. 8.
8. Okay, that is flee and panic. So you can see Killian desperately try to unbarricade the door where this thing currently is. So if he unbarricades the door, he's going to attract whatever this flesh mass's attention.
Killian, you gotta knock it off. I'm gonna try to pull him back.
You need to just get out, Killian. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, and I've got four rounds of hysterical trying to get away.
All right, so Cliff, are you going to try and dogpile Killian?
Yeah, I got a regular success on a brawl. I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just.
Oh, no, yeah, you can restrain with a brawl, for sure.
Has Killian actually untied himself from the bed of the truck?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, once we got inside.
Just checking. Hoping.
I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to get away.
All right, but he starts pushing aside the vending machine, but then he gets tackled by Cliff. Let's do another contested fighting brawl roll and let's see what happens there.
All right, regular.
Is anyone else helping out?
I'd help. Yeah.
Okay, then.
I failed my fight.
All right, then in that case, Killian gets dogpiled. And you are going to develop a new insane talent. So roll a d10.
Killian, it's all right. We're going to get through this.
Also 8.
8? Oh, you're an insane driver. Nothing's going to stop me now. So you get a bonus die on all drive rolls. It's a d20?
That chart goes over 2 tables.
Yeah, it's all right, d20.
I'm sorry, I rolled a d20?
Yeah, my bad.
Sorry. D20. A 17.
Insane stealth. So you can try and attempt to hide in plain sight. So you get a bonus die to stealth rolls.
Okay, cool.
If you just stand still, they won't find you.
You can't see me.
Excellent. All right, so you come back into it, but at this point, those of you who have lost more than a fifth of your starting sand, you're indefinitely insane.
Yeah, I haven't.
Not there yet, no.
Yeah. Wow, these pulp heroes.
I'm just shy. I started with 60 and I'm at 49, so I'm hanging on by a thread.
Wonderful. Right. So because you held down Killian, this biomass, it has rolled on past to somewhere else. And as you peek outside, because the door is partially open, because Killian did manage to push away some of the vending machine slightly, you can see a damaged military vehicle that is now sunk in like a sinkhole in the middle of the ground. And there's a bit of smoke coming out of it. There's also scattered firearms, a few limbs, and you hear a from military radio. Saying,
absolutely.
Report in.
Let's get on the horn.
Has the biomass rolled out of the building?
No, it's gone in one of the aisles away from where you currently are.
We do have 3 floors of consumer delights and occasional pockets of living humans.
All right. And more of this mall is just becoming fleshy and organic.
I'm going to take up the radio and the nearest firearm.
Okay.
And
as you are walking towards the radio, they're asking, you hear some swearing on the other side, and then you hear someone in a very authoritative voice, like just before you pick it up, like, all right, breach is a fail. scheduled the bombing run for sunrise.
Mayday, mayday. Hi, everyone out there. Thanks for coming to help. The situation is dire. We're trying to find out the source of the contagion. I'm sorry. I'm Derek Prince. I'm one of the security guards. Several of us have maintained some control and also established a couple of civilian containment areas. So there are a number of innocent, unarmed civilians inside the building. So that bombing situation might be premature. Who am I talking to, please?
The line goes dead. Roll sanity.
56 would... Oh, yeah, would have been a success, but no longer is.
Oh, all right. That's definitely probably a D4 plus 5.
So they just
D4 plus 1. Sorry.
They shut me down. They were like, "We don't care about you." Is that
Yeah, they
what
didn't
I'm
even
getting?
give you a response.
D4 plus 1, 2 only. However, that pushes me below a 5th.
Okay.
But
I believe that is a bout of madness. So roll intelligence.
That's a fail.
All right. So you're holding on.
50. See, I'm not very
kill
bright.
you. They're all gonna kill you.
Yeah, they don't care that we're alive. They don't care that we're alive, guys. Hey, they don't care that we're alive. We've got to get out of here. Got to get out of here. Tunnels.
All right.
Gideon.
Yes,
let's
we
see
can
those
either
tunnels,
take the
Gid.
maintenance tunnels or we can go in that sinkhole.
But aren't all these tunnels made of it?
Increasingly, everything here is made
What other
of
option
it.
do we have? Gideon says.
Just have to get out. We have to get out. If we get out, maybe we can stop them from bombing the civilians, but we have to get out.
Right now, it is around 3 a.m. as you look at the clock.
When
And-
the sunrise.
Yeah, there is the sunrise is at 6 a.m.
Okay, 3 hours. Looking for any
6:30.
discarded grenades or anything.
Yep, you got a cluster. You
Raid
got
the
a belt of
military
grenades.
vehicle. Yeah.
You see the APC. It's an armored vehicle with like multiple wheels and a big bulky armored husk, and it's tilted downward into the sinkhole, and there's smoke coming out of it, and you can see where it's been lashed at by tentacles. The sinkhole goes down maybe 30 feet.
But the
Cliff,
voice.
you grab that rope.
We've got to stop the voice, and then the thing will stop changing.
Prepare
and then
to
we
go
can-
home. Prepare to go home.
You
Not
said
going
it's
home,
coming
you
from-
fucker.
You said it's coming from the basement, right, Derek?
It might be. Gideon? That's your best guess, Gid?
And he holds himself up near the sinkhole and said, "I think I feel a breeze."
Like breath?
Maybe it might be a breath or it might be a way out.
Part of me says, let's just throw all those grenades down there and then run down a tunnel.
We need to save these for whatever the heart of this thing is.
You know, the heart,
Bob's
the beat.
right.
Right, there's a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's right, Bob. Good
The
eye.
heart of them all.
The heart of them all. Heart of
It's gonna be
us.
right under Bank of America or something like that. Isn't it?
No, Derek, it's the mall, not them all. We're in a mall.
All right, I'm sorry. I think there's bleeding in my ear. Yeah, right. Gideon, I don't know. Where could this voice be coming from?
I
Where's the
I don't
PA
know.
system?
The PA system's in the admin office, but there's no one in the admin office.
So somebody did some
Does anyone have
wiring?
science physics or electronics?
I can do electrical repair.
Yeah, I'll do an electrical repair with but you need a hard.
Okay, I get my bonus die from being handy, so I'm going to see if I can rewire some stuff or at least trace some wires to find out where this signal is coming from.
I'm gonna patch up
so
Cliff while we decide what to do with ourselves. I think he got pretty hurt.
Thank you.
I'll take 48 rather than 98, and 48 is a regular success, so it's not hard.
Okay. So it could definitely have something to do with electromagnetic fields, or something can get into that system. So they don't need to be at the speaker itself.
And the voice saying that we are ready to go home, it doesn't sound familiar. We haven't heard this voice before. It doesn't have any particular resonance for any of us, emotionally, psychologically, or historically.
Can you repeat that?
The voice that's repeating that we should prepare to go home, does it sound like anyone we know?
No,
Anyone
it
we've
sounds
met?
robotic, but also human.
Cliff, I
Robotic,
patched
and
up
it's
before.
nice work, Steve. You've always had a good eye for that surgical tape. I appreciate that about you. Killian, what if it isn't the end of the world and we need somebody smart to find the tunnel out before they bomb us? I mean, wouldn't you like to see Mom again, Killian?
Killian's gone.
I
Oh,
wonder
as you
he's
mentioned
been
his name.
quiet.
fuck's sake. Right. All right. So we've lost the scary guy. I wonder if he knew a way out and we can follow him. He did have those orthopedic shoes, so his tracks are distinct. Did he go
Do we
down?
want to follow him though, Derek? He's kind of weird.
Honestly, he scares the heck out of me.
We check the cameras because if we're in the CCTV booth, see where he's gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kid, can you scan around?
All right. So you are scanning around on cameras, and you can just see him with a spot hidden. You're going to
When did he
need
get so
a
stealthy?
extreme.
Come
Can
on.
all of us be looking, or do you want that from one person?
You can all look.
It
Fine.
Well,
doesn't
remember,
matter.
I'm not using my
rolled-
stealth against them. I'm using my stealth against the things around me. So they
And I rolled a 1 after all of those 90s and high 80s. So
You beat me
Okay.
by 2.
Ooh.
we wasted those dice. Damn it.
Great. So you see Killian in the parking lot, dodging and weaving out of the detection
Between
of these
tentacles.
tendrils. Yeah. And he's
And he's
crawling,
making-
military. And he's crawling towards the military checkpoint.
Balls in.
And how does the military response look?
They don't see me.
They don't see him.
Bad man, he's made it out.
The direction. So if he's on the camera that's southeast, facing the parking lot by the Victoria's Secret,
Yep.
does that indicate like what tunnel he took? Because he got out.
He didn't take any tunnel. He just went out the door,
Oh, he just slipped away.
slipped away.
I went out through
His-
the broken glass front.
His weird delusional ninja stuff finally came in handy because the world is broken.
His world's broken.
Okay, well, that doesn't help. All right, let's kill the heart. Cliff, got a read on where this thing's coming from? Bob, you think there's a technical solution? Steve?
It's definitely
Feeling
coming
buff and
from
ready?
below, you think.
I say we blow
Either
it up.
in the sinkhole or down the maintenance tunnels. But you can tell me what you're going to do.
The heart
I'm
of
up
this
for the
thing has to be
percussive.
But where would be a big enough area for a heart large enough to sustain this thing?
Yeah, I'm assuming we know them all fairly well. Can we get a sense of that?
It'd have to be something under the mall.
Is there like just a large basement area for general storage? Is there?
There's stuff for that, but like when you look around, there's more sinkholes that are appearing. The building's shaking, it's rumbling. It's almost like it's trying to pluck itself out of its concrete foundation.
Is there an old boiler room or some other place that was sort of a core for this whole complex?
I would say so, but it's probably no longer in use.
Yeah.
More of
That
these
sounds like a good place.
things.
Could you say that again, Cliff?
Are there more of those like flesh beast things?
Yeah, there's some around, but the area that you're in is pretty much cleared out because either the military got it or the ooze this biomass got it.
And what are the hazards like outside? Like, are there still like tentacles waving around and grabbing
Yeah.
stuff? I was gonna say one option, but it'd be really hard with all those threats outside, is grabbing as many civilians as we can and trying to make it out there. And then when they bomb the place, we won't be in here, but it's just as bad, if not worse, outside.
Yeah, I think that if we encumber ourselves with some of the figures cowering inside the Homer's despot, we're going to be slowed down. And this whole thing's going to, if we are in here when they bomb it, we'll probably be digested before we're even bombed. It's just getting, I mean, it's sweating. It's really not all right.
I would rather take my chances going below ground as well in case they do start bombing this place.
Right.
More cover.
So it's a question of sinkhole or escape hatch. I don't really like sinkholes, but somebody thought they caught a breath of fresh air.
6 of one, half a dozen the other. Whichever is the most direct route that would take us towards the disused boiler plant down there.
Okay, great. So probably just maintenance tunnels. And as you open the door to the maintenance tunnels, you can see that they're very vein-like, and the insides of these veiny walls are dotted with like cysts or polyps.
Don't get anywhere near them. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, we'll try to give them a wide berth and maybe just shimmy our way through.
But fairly quick. We don't have much time to dither.
All right. You're going to run through, and as you run through, they're just going to pop. So who's first?
Well, I think I should lead the way.
Okay, go.
All right.
We could also leave it to whoever's got the lowest.
I got this, Derek. I got this.
All right, so give me.
You're on fire, Steve. You're on fire.
Yeah, you pop and you get some like bile.
Okay.
Dex or dodge.
My worst skill is dex. Let's do dodge. I like that better. Those odds better. No. Want to spend? No, I don't want to spend the 15 luck. I will take whatever the consequences are.
Okay. So that was a failure?
Yes.
Take 3 as acidic bile gets on you. And finds out your sin.
You got this, Steve. It's all right.
It's okay. I got this. I can do this.
I'm going to patch you up. We're going to get outside. You got it.
It'll buff out.
I'm not going to be defeated by a pimple. I got this.
All right, and you're noticing these tunnels, they start to go like downward.
All right.
Yeah. And they open up to these cavernous rooms that weren't below. You're somewhere below the mall. And it's winding, and it looks like the inside of a stomach. You think you see a stomach acid room. How are you going to navigate over that? There's a thing that looks like a uvula on the ceiling. You could try and swing on that.
It'll throw us up.
Right. Gideon is lagging behind with Danny over his shoulder.
Good man, good.
But you had a rope, didn't you, Cliff?
No, Killian had the rope. Cliff grabbed some rope too.
Cliff grabbed some rope.
Yeah.
All right, give me a dexterity to lasso a uvula.
Swing across. Only on Black Friday.
That's a success. Regular. Oh.
All right. So you set up the rope, and then you're all able to swing across without any roll. However,
Throw me the idol. I threw you the rope. So, flashback.
the area around you, it starts to rumble. The ceiling starts to open up, and like you're underneath some stores, so other store items start to fall in. It looks like an electronics store. You see, who has lowest luck?
I'm down to 41.
39.
39? Okay. Roll it.
46.
Whoever's got the lowest should roll.
I think that's me. 39.
It's that flat
And
screen
I
TV.
rolled
Doing.
an 80. So no.
80? Okay. So no, just the electronics. It's like a Radio Shack. Mag lights, radios, they fall down. And you can see the store above. And it's starting to like lift a little off the foundation. Like it's struggling to go upward. And you make your way down, and you can hear this heartbeat. It's getting louder and louder.
How about that voice? Are we still hearing that voice? Or
No,
did we
just
leave
from
that?
the speakers. Yeah.
All right. The heartbeat's getting louder. Can we track that? I'd love to set that on fire, I have to say.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
Definitely can. So you spend a couple more minutes wandering these veins, and I'll take a listen roll to follow the sound of a heartbeat and not get lost.
No.
Rolls will come to an end.
It's amazing.
Dead on. So just a regular for me.
All right, then you're able to follow the heart until it opens up to another room. And there's a room with organic vats filled with hamburger meat, or it looks like hamburger meat, and almost a console made of meat with controls also made of flesh. And at the helm of these controls is a fungoid crustacean. It looks like it once had wings, but those wings are clipped.
Burger King's storage room.
Yes, and it turns to you and it says in a buzzing voice, preparing to go home. So give me a sand roll seeing this.
Light it up.
Dude, that's why it's lifting up. It's trying to turn the mall into a spaceship for this creep. 81. Good gracious.
Right. So with a fail like that, I believe it's a
D6.
D6. Yep. 0
And
slash
on a
D6.
pass, 0. Okay.
And
So
that's
if you pass, you don't go into Bout of Madness if you're indefinite.
That's a 4, bringing me down to 43 from my initial 60. Is that another intelligence roll?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And at last, I succeeded with a 39. Just.
Ooh, all right. Roll a D10 for your Bout of Madness.
A better 10. Come on, baby. 10. 0.
10. Oh, okay. I don't really care for Mania because I can't really use that right now. So instead, you mentioned Susan, your deceased wife, right?
Yes, sweet Susan.
She's here now. And she takes your hand and she says, "We're going to get through this, Derek."
Oh, thank God. Huh. I thought it was a nightmare. It really has seemed like a nightmare.
What weapons do you have on you?
I've got two hatchets in a belt, and barbecue lighter, and 2 canisters of accelerants.
All right, roll luck.
So whatever solvent. Luck?
Yeah.
36 is good.
Okay, so in that case, she plucks the solvent and lighter off your belt and brandishes it in a combatant stance. And you just feel you have like an out-of-body experience. You're watching your wife do this, but in actuality, those of you witnessing Derek, he's talking to himself, and now he's brandishing a lighter and solvent. Talking to himself.
Susan, I couldn't believe, I knew it was impossible.
We just have to kill this monster, and we'll be free.
Just point it
Derek,
that way.
are you okay? Who are you talking to, man?
It's Steve. Steve, it's fun. It's all been a terrible nightmare. It's going to be all right now. Susan, what do I need to do?
Hit that son of a bitch. It's your turn. So what are you doing?
Hitting that son of a bitch.
All right, with the aerosol and the. So, give me a fighting brawl as you rush towards the crustacean, and the crustacean has something in its hands that's crackling with electricity.
My fighting brawl is just above a hard, so
Okay.
I can make it a hard.
So you
If it
find
necessary.
yourself unable to move. Your wife, however, rushes this creature with the aerosol can and lights it on fire, and it starts to wave around, and it smells god awful. But you're just standing there, once again, having this, unable to act at the glory that is your wife.
It's the cancer, you see. She's killing the cancer.
Right.
She's
And
doing it herself.
the
It's
rest
so
of you
beautiful.
are seeing Derek jump into action and light this thing on fire.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Derek!
Robert, Bob, it's your turn. This thing is still alive.
It doesn't deserve to. I'm going to rush forward with a chainsaw and try to dissect it limb from limb.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, 45 is a success.
Home, prepare to go home. Roll 2d8, and it's going to try and dodge. Oh, actually. It failed dodge anyway.
Oh, that'll be 10.
All right, so as you continue to saw into this thing with the chainsaw, it just says home, home, home in a
Phone
buzzing
home,
voice.
bitch.
You slice it right in half, cleaving it in half. And there is a consequence. At this point, person with the lowest luck, please roll.
Still me, 39.
Derek, your wife turns
My
to you and
dice?
says, "We have to get out of here now."
Ooh, 11.
We do, Susan.
11. Great. So in that case, as you're talking to your wife, you're saying, "We do, Susan?"
We do. We have to wake up from this madness.
And the ceiling breaks open. And 4 segways fall onto the ground. "Let's hop on," your wife says. And then there is that terrible rumbling.
Who's doubling up?
Gideon.
There's only 4 of us.
Yeah, you
Oh
can
no, that's
have
Gideon.
2 people
That's right.
on.
Gideon and Danny. That's right.
Who wants to take Gideon?
I'll take Gideon. I'm gunning for a
Who's
raise.
taking Danny?
I'll grab Danny.
All right.
Sorry, friends. I've already got 2.
And you hop onto the Segway, and then you see the biomass. So those of you who haven't rolled against it before, roll it now.
Oh,
1d6 slash
when-
1d20.
Was that the one we saw on the security camera?
Yes.
Okay, I saw that.
Ooh.
That's what broke me, so I'm all right.
I lose 13.
Okay.
32
You
and
lose
a half
13.
Mm-hmm.
for
4. Very lucky. All right. that probably takes you over a fifth of your sanity, and you can roll an intelligence, Cliff, as this shambling mass of hamburger meat, eyes and teeth rolls in also from the top, ready to give chase. And there are other openings where you can feel the fresh air on your face.
So I failed the intelligence.
Okay. That's good. You should get the hell out of there.
I'm leaning or cranking the throttle, however you operate these things.
All right, so all of you jump onto your segways. Bob, you scoop up this weird organic crackling weapon, and you all take off on your segways. Give me a drive roll, just to see how far you get as this hamburger meat biomass is chasing.
Oh, I rolled a 4. That's an extreme.
Okay.
I rolled 2 tens dice rather than tens in a digit.
Come on, Danny.
I will spend the luck. It's going to take me below 30, but I'm going to spend the luck. I feel like I
Okay.
need to do this.
So Danny's clinging onto your back.
I'm going to spend 2 points of luck to make it a hard, if that makes any difference.
Yeah.
Got a regular, and I'm not likely to spend that much.
Yeah, I'm just at a regular now.
All right, so you'll rev your segways and you make your way down through the tunnel that looks like a vein. While this sloshing mass is going towards you, no one failed, so it doesn't catch up this turn. I'll roll. Let's roll another set as Danny is looking back and just screaming.
Don't
Are
look
you
back.
doing anything to slow this thing down?
Grenades! Throw the grenades!
Yeah, I might throw a couple over the shoulder.
Great, give me a
Oh,
throw.
there we go.
Nope.
22. That's a hard.
Who took Gideon?
I
Not
did.
Steve. Oh, I thought you had Danny.
No,
I had no. Cliff has Danny. I have
Cliff's got Danny.
I mean, I have Gideon.
You've got Gideon. He says, "I'm gonna see retirement."
I got you.
Danny's
I got
just-
you, Gideon.
All right, what was your
Is this a
roll?
good time to talk about my compensation?
No, and you succeeded your throw rolls, so you just toss grenades back, and they go off and they shake the ground.
Just think about your pension, Gideon.
And who failed the drive roll? I will say that the
Roll
grenades
up the
did
pass.
slow it down quite a bit, and you're getting to a point where the vein like walls, they're turning into stone, and you can hear birds chirping in the distance through the revving of your segways. So one more drive.
That means it's very close to dawn if the birds are chirping.
Yep.
Oh, failed.
Oh,
Spin the luck. Spin the luck. Just a regular pass.
Okay.
Regular from me on 56.
All right.
Ben,
And-
luck.
You're out of luck?
I'm
Or
gonna-
you're- Okay. And one more thing, you're out of grenades. How are you going to slow this thing down again?
I think his name's Danny.
What?
Oh, you're going to toss Danny?
I haven't got him, but I'm just
That was that's such a Killian move.
I couldn't.
Although, actually, I do have this weird gun thing. I'm going to try and turn around and give it a zap.
Okay, yeah. Give me a firearm, so you'll need a hard. Because you have no idea how this...
Yeah, man. Apparently, Migo Tech is my friend, too.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So you zap this thing, it starts to convulse as the electricity goes through the synapses and the meat and the nerves, and it stuns and some rocks fall on it, and you all segue out of this tunnel, and it reveals the local town forest that you're in a hidden outcropping. You can see that it is becoming dawn. And as you look behind you, you see the Mall of Flesh, this converted into an organic spaceship lifting in the air, but you also hear fighter jets going. And you are pretty much danger close as they all drop their payload and just blow this mall to smithereens, taking everything in the vein-like caverns in with it, including that thing that was chasing you.
and including the people that we left behind.
True.
many of whom have probably been digested already. I'm just going to grab Susan and fall behind the largest rock I can.
Great, you do that.
I'm going to need another mall to protect.
Does that count as us
Gideon-
having handed in our resignation?
Gideon just turns around and looks at the falling mall, pieces of it falling from the sky, and he just gives it a salute. God bless America. I retire. And you can walk off into the sunrise. But before that, let's do a little epilogue for Killian as he has made his way through the parking lot and snuck through the military perimeter, making it all the way home to his mother. So you look disheveled, you're covered in blood, but since it was still dark out at the time you escaped,
Nobody really saw me.
mm-hmm.
So I go in, and my mother is probably still lying in bed. Well, she's probably lying in bed.
Okay.
It's early morning.
You can explain whatever happened.
Well, I don't. I go in and I say, Mom, that...
No, you, the player.
Oh.
Take it away.
So I used my increased stealth abilities to get across the parking lot. I walked through the neighborhoods back to my home. I go in, and apparently as I go, I don't seem to notice that the rest of the world is perfectly normal. And so I go in, I kiss my mother, and I tell her that it's finally here, the end of the world. And I use the axe to send her to God without any pain or fear. And then I probably figure out how I'm going to get rid of the body, probably buried in the backyard. And then try to figure out why the world isn't ending, though I hear the explosions in the distance. So for a long time, I'm probably convinced it's the end of the world, and then it doesn't come.
All right.
So I take her money and I go to Peru and start a new life.
So that's Killian's epilogue. What about Steve?
I never once think about any of you.
All right. If there are any news interviews, Steve is all about it.
Nope.
He wants his dang.
Gas leak.
He wants this picture in the paper. He wants
Gas leak.
Then I think with these delusions of heroics in Steve's mind, he is probably going to find another mall to be a security guard at, thinking like it's his job to save the world from evil malls at this point.
Wait
Check out the basement's first thing.
Absolutely.
All right. What about Bob?
Well, Bob's got some nice, interesting extraterrestrial tech here, which, with his crazily high skills and intellect, he's going to reverse engineer and then send all the documentation to MIT and go, "Hey guys, I think I finally got a way to make up for blowing up that block of yours."
Wow, you're instantly taken back. How do you know about that? What about Derek?
Need to know.
It's hard for me to understand why Susan's so shy around other people these days.
Right. And it's hard to tell why people are shying away from you when you introduce Susan.
She was always so social. She was always such a sunny part of the community. But given that she's newly shy, I think we're going to take the circumstance, the small payout we get from the settlement, from the explosion at the mall, and we're going to move to the Canadian Rockies, where we'll have a small home garden and, spend a lot of time together again at last.
Wholesome. What about Cliff?
Cliff's going to drive home. He's going to assemble his resume and application packet. And he's going to, now that he feels that he's comfortably in the big leagues of mall security, drive to Bloomington, Minnesota, and apply as head mall cop at the mother of all malls, the Mall of America.
Wonderful. Roll luck.
Oh. 14. That's hard.
You get it? You're hired.
This is his dream.
Yep. And on that note, we will end the scenario. One night of hell in the Mall of Pain.
Mr. Master, what's your experience?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Have you ever worked Black Friday?
Yeah.
That was really cool. So it was a Mego.
Yeah, its wings were clipped, so it's no longer able to fly back to Yugoth. So it wants to go home really badly. So it manufactured a superorganism, like made of this flesh, this biomass, and its byproducts, which were the flesh freaks, to convert all matter into this biological machinery, because it planned on creating a spaceship for itself using it and fly back to Yugoth. But it needed building material, and that building material was flesh and meat, and it needed a lot of building material. So it waited until Black Friday, where there would be a ton of people to have a spaceship to go home, and it even put up posters of fake sales to get more people to come, and would hand out free money using brainwash people.
Our players included Matthew Sanderson, Holly Buto, Dan DePolis, David Gasaway, and myself with Alex Sun as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.